I was in a deeply transactional relationship for a year of my life, and it changed the way I view dating, relationships, people, everything. For good and some bad. I'm not sure how to even structure this video, what the takeaway will be, or whether I'm even going to make it public on my page, but I just had to talk about this. The beginning. It was the first relationship that I had ever been in that I felt like the man was actually pouring into my cup and actually improving my life. Other relationships I had been in, they never had the ability to provide and give me the insights that he did and that he had. And that made me even more attracted. I came from a 3-year relationship where I felt like we were going nowhere because he was going nowhere. After that, I vowed to myself to never be with someone who didn't have any direction, who could not lead. Of course, you can't lead if you have no direction, and who had no money. Looking back, I think I went to the extreme and did the complete opposite. Like went with someone who was completely opposite. I got with someone who was at the top of his field, making $500,000 a year, older, knew exactly where he was going and was unapologetic about it, and a provider who would make my life easier with his resources. At first, it was amazing. It was everything I wanted. He was a perfect gentleman, kind, soft, yet extremely masculine, gentle, generous with literally everyone, not just me, like literally everyone. Like, he would tip the hostess. He paid for convenience, and I like that a lot, especially coming from a world or coming from a relationship where people shamed others who tried to buy some kind of comfort and called them lazy or entitled for paying for that comfort that they worked hard for or that they worked to be able to afford. So that was refreshing. This was a man who was an immigrant to this country, literally came on a boat at 15 years of age and worked hard to create his life. And that was so different from the person that I was with, who thought that rich people were just evil and whatever the hell else limiting beliefs that they had about wealth. Addiction. I got addicted to the weekly lavish dates, the gifts, the money, the ease. I fell into the trap of believing that this was the way that relationships work, that all relationships were supposed to be, or at least the relationships that I wanted to be in were supposed to be. We never fought, and that was partially because he was averse to fighting and would say things like, oh, we're not people who fight. So I was getting brainwashed into not bringing up any concerns. Not that there were very many, because we only spent a few hours a week together, and we didn't really talk that much throughout the week, so the honeymoon phase lasted a pretty long time. He told me that he was not the guy for me since the beginning. Or actually, he told me that he was not the guy that I was going to end up with. He was the guy that was going to show me how a lady should be treated. He was going to give me the standards, the blueprint of how every man should treat me, talk to me, and be with me going forward. And he did just that. I'm gonna give him credit for that. Because of how much I started to fall in love with him, I would look for him in every date I went on. So during this relationship, this was a situationship. It was actually a relationship. We were never officially together. So I was going on dates with other men at the time. I started to look for him in every man that I went on a date with. They stood no chance. I would write men off who did not open the door, who did not offer to pick me up, or who did not offer to fill up my gas tank, which were things that he did unprovoked before I even knew that this was a way to be treated. Like, this was the way that I like to be treated. So I was going on dates while with him throughout that year of being with him, because we were not technically in a relationship. I truly wanted to find my person. Like, I truly wanted to find my partner, and I didn't realize that I was going about it the wrong way. Playing the field. So I became a serial dater, looking for commitment, but not really. I tried to convince myself and everyone around me that I was looking for something real, but my actions did not show that. Two things cannot occupy the same space. Two plugs cannot fill the same hole. While I knew that fundamentally, I was not acting on it. I thought I could separate myself and go on dates with guys and then calling him after the date and going over to his house. And I thought that would work. Obviously, that was a fail. I kept finding things wrong with these men. And being that I was operating from an emotionally unavailable state, that's exactly what I was attracting. I was accepting dates from anyone who met the bare minimum requirements of making good money, being relatively intelligent, and just being an adult in general, meaning having a nice car, a nice home or apartment with furniture, like not a frat house, and that we had some good flirtation going on. I don't do online dating, so all the men that I met during that year was in real life, except for when I was in Boston. I downloaded Hinge and went on a date with someone so that they could like help me explore the city and stuff like that. So I was super wishy-washy about what I actually wanted out of a relationship, and it showed. I couldn't commit to anything, and I was trying to play relationships by the same rules as my situationship. I was not allowing men to see me more than once a week. They had to schedule a date with me 3 calendar days in advance, and a whole lot of rigid rules. I still stand by those rules today, but I'm learning to go more based on vibes and connection, and immediately cutting off anyone who does not meet those vibes and connection. I was giving too many men second dates. I thought I had to wait a while to see if the chemistry would grow, and sometimes even the attraction, thereby wasting my own time and literally accepting dates from ogres and men who were like 60 freaking years old. Like, what was I doing? Like, what? You're not a potential. Let's be for real. I was accused multiple times of only wanting to be around for like fun times and drinks and just having a good time. And it's partially true. Well, it's true. I was not seeing relationships through a lens of trying to build a bond with someone and trying to find a lifelong partner. It was more of who could take care of me and make me feel good. It was very hedonistic. Celibacy. So I deprived myself of any and all physical touch and contact with people when I was attracted to them because they hadn't done enough. Again, I'm basing everything on the situationship that I had with this man that waited 6 months to even sleep with me and gave me the entire world before even smelling the kitty. And that was what I thought was normal, or it was my normal. I didn't allow men to even kiss me on the first date. I kind of wanted them to be afraid to approach me. So I'm actually done with all of the notes I have. I'm gonna kind of go off a little bit on a tangent because what I want to say is that during the celibacy era, I'm still in my celibacy era. I've been celibate for, say, 14 months now. I've been sober for all of this time, and I feel like I was in a season of singleness, but I did not actually stay single. Like, I would still go on dates. I would still go on solo dates. I would still make myself approachable. I didn't tell people, oh, I'm not dating right now, kind of thing. It was more of like, well, we'll see. So I finished my bathroom break and I thought I was recording a video, and I did not record any of it. And I feel like that is the enemy at work. And I don't even remember what I said. And now I just don't even want to finish this video. Like, God, please give me the strength to finish this video. Any energy I do not need may leave. I'm going to just speak from the heart. I was talking about my celibacy journey. Okay, so I was dating this person for all of 2022. And during this period, I was dating other people. Like, we were in a situationship. It was not a relationship. So I kept my options open. I didn't keep my eggs in his basket. It happened naturally where there was no one that I was actually interested in sleeping with. I'm not the kind of woman who just sleeps with people for fun, for free. Like, that's not really my desire. Like, I actually desire commitment. I desire investment. The men who would try to get me to come over without even going on our first date yet, or who would invite me to to come hang out on their porch and drink some Hennessy, they were an immediate no, because I had already had the standards with this guy who literally gave me the world and was so gentlemanly and did not try to coerce me or get me to come over or get me to do anything. Like, he was continuously investing in me until I trusted him enough to even be alone in his house with him. No one was meeting the criteria to even, I mean, I would go on dates with people and it just would not go past the first or second date. Obviously, I'm not sleeping with anybody on a first or second date. Like, that's not my character. I was just celibate because that's just how it happened. And then I made it a little bit more intentional. Like, I wanted a commitment. I desired commitment before getting into that. And there was only one person who got even close to that. Like, I think we went on like 4 or 5 dates. There was potential to like start integrating and like meeting each other's people. Like, I invited him to my birthday party. This was before anything had happened, anything sexual would have had happened. This person, he actually was the catalyst for me to be able to even step into this new era of dating where I was no longer dating people that I was barely interested in. I had material requirements at the top of the list, and they were just meeting that. And I needed to add more values or more characteristics or more hobbies and stuff like that, like how we would fit in the long term. And obviously I still have those materialistic standards because I live in a material world and everything is material, but I also have spiritual standards and I also have character standards and stuff like that. Now with this dude, like, he opened my eyes to the way I was dating. The way that I was dating was super closed off, when I met him, I was literally going through a heartbreak and I didn't even know it because I kind of denied the fact that I was even going through a heartbreak. I still just kept dating. I still kept doing what I was doing as if the person hadn't just left my life. I met him literally right after. Like, I think I met him in December. Me and that guy ended in late October, early November. So like when I met him, I was still in that stage, and he felt that I was one of those girls who just wanted to go out and have fun and go to dinner and stuff like that, but not really build something. And that, having that conversation with him really opened my eyes to that, because that was how I was operating. I was just operating in a hedonistic way, saying that I was looking to be in a relationship, that I wanted to find my partner, but not acting like it. That's all I got. I'm burnt out of talking right now, and I am ready to bounce. Talk to you later.